Hello everyone, Luke Taylor here for another album review, and today's album is 2019 Lacuna Coil Black Anima. So Black Anima is the newest album from Italian goth metal superstars Lacuna Coil, led by Cristina Scabbia and Andrea Ferro, and this album was actually produced by the bass player Marco Cottizzolati. So that is super cool that it's really an in-house thing. It was done in Milan, where they're from, and I really like what they did here. They have a very cool, this is kind of like an embossed cover of an old leather book. You see that with their very gothy looking stuff, as it's going to reflect. But anyway, they're looking around the book, and there's a really cool story here. I feel that they did a prologue and an epilogue, Anima Nera and Black Anima. So Anima, really Latin for like spirit, and you can like kind of get what they're doing without knowing it. I think that's a really great way of delivering a theme. I said this about my Lord of the Lost Thornstar review, because you can really kind of get the theme, and then when you understand it, maybe things make more sense, but just listening to it, you kind of get it right away, and it is something in the songs that are really personal to everybody. I think there's a lot of shared experience songs here. Of course, there's probably some very personal things that they wrote from. However, they're, archetypal things as well, and that's really cool. Sword of Anger is great. Layers of Time is probably my favorite song, and I really like Save Me, but I think the whole album is fantastic. I just want to say that the whole album, the songwriting, the production, just the sound overall, Christina's performance is amazing, and just the instrumentation, the choruses are great. There's just, overall, this is a great album. I don't think there's like a whole lot of incredible songs. Some discs you just like blown away with some of the singles, I should say, and you're like, every song could be a single. Some albums are not like that, and I do think that, for me personally, I really like when the whole concept is done properly and it's all connected, so that might have some great singles on there, some really cool songs, but you get a better experience overall when they really committed to making 48 minutes of music rather than a bunch of singles, or 52 minutes, or whatever. Something in like my review for Heart Like a Grave, I just think it's an epic experience. Of course, Shogun, I have a Shogun shirt. It's got some great singles, but the whole thing is an experience. I really prefer that kind of album. I'm more of an album guy than a song guy. And I really think they nailed it here. I think it's one of the best albums of 2019. Just for me, I really enjoyed it. I really like the whole flavor of this. And I should say that this kind of style music, this really gothy, heavy stuff, it's not my favorite, but I do really like it when it's done in a way that makes me happy, I guess. I can't say the best way, but it's the way that I like. And this is done the way that I like, for sure. And I want to say that one thing that really sets this apart from some of the other bands that do this stuff is the presence of guitar solos. There were some serious Jeff Loomis moments. I'm not going to lie. There's some serious... So Dee Dee is really shredding here. There's some serious Jeff Loomis moments, because it's more of the really, really low down-tuned guitars, but it's like the diminished scale and that kind of harmonic minor, but it's really the emotion that you're evoking with a solo that you can't really do with vocals. And the production on the vocals here is fantastic. You have a male and female singer, and I just think Christina is one of the best singers in the business. On Tarja's album, In the Raw, she has a guest performance that's fantastic, and it doesn't sound like her, in her band and in her element and doing a lot of the layers. She does some really cool scales, really cool background stuff that, if you listen to this album a bunch of times, it's not just about the choruses or the verses or the moods. It's about like everything. So you'll get to hear some of her background scales and some of these really cool riffs and fills she's doing, but just really the emotion. And I think that this album has something really cool, which is narration. I usually don't like narration. This is one of the few times I think it really works well. Something that it didn't work well in is, say, like Endless Forms Most Beautiful. I didn't like that narration at all. I think it was just like beating you over the head with the idea of what the thing was about. But this feels like a confession to a mirror or a camera. It feels like a very personal thing, and it kind of like almost like a one-take thing. I don't know how many times they did it, but it just feels like almost off the cuff and kind of raw. I'm sure it was written, but it really has a great feeling when you're listening to the songs, especially in Save Me, and is just letting it out there. And I do think that this is a very personal sounding album, so I like that the theme is kind of a big archetypal theme, as I said, but it has a personal sound to it. So it's not just like let's sing about, let's create a universe and sing about it, which is very cool. Let's make this whole fantasy thing. It's like, no, let's make this kind of almost dark Italian horror movie And you can, maybe it's connected a little bit in the videos. There's like a little girl, and then, you know, just the way that they're dressed, they have continuity in that matter. But yeah, I think all these things are really coagulating for a very solid sound and a very solid experience. One that I really enjoy. I really enjoy listening to this. It's perfect run length. I have to say, like, the prologue and epilogue, I think they're necessary to, like, kind of really get the theme out there. But if you're just listening to it for sheer enjoyment, those songs don't add as much as after you've experienced it a few times and you're like, okay, I get it. I know what we're doing. Which is interesting. I don't know. I don't think that's a positive or a negative. I just think it's like, okay, you get the kind of, it's like seeing a movie. You're like, okay, I get that what we're doing now, and then after you know that, it kind of loses the kind of the luster. But the songs are just super solid. They're really great flow, great album. Yeah. So this is probably Lacuna Coil's darkest and heaviest album, and I think that is one of the reasons why it really resonates with me, and I really enjoy listening to it. It's just this really solid effort. They did a perfect job. Again, Christina's vocals are fabulous. All the instrumentation is great. Production is fantastic. My rating, gold. So what did you think of Black Anima? Have you seen all the videos? I have links below. Also to my reaction. I did Layers of Time. Great song that is. And yeah, Lacuna Coil is great. So please let me know what your favorite album is. I have a lot. Please know what your favorite song is. And yeah, it's up for Album of the Year 2019, of course. Please check out that video when it comes out. If you're seeing this in retrospection, then you know what happened, of course, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so please check out my channel for all the other album reviews. I do those every Monday. And sometimes I throw them in there, you know, just whenever, just because there's so much music to talk about, of course. And Wednesday is the reactions. There could be some more Lacuna Coil reactions in the future, we'll see. And then metal news. Stay tuned for that. So, thank you very much for watching. That's it for me. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. See you later.